Not a good week to be in IT.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, some people
biggest
worse
IT
than
outage
other.
in history.
Yeah. Did you? So one of the things I think is crazy. I saw this post is everyone knows McAfee. I can't remember what his first name is, but
John.
John McAfee made McAfee. Well, I forget. I think it was like 2009. There was a huge outage caused by McAfee antivirus. Lost multiple companies a bunch of money, shut down like different systems for a lot of things. McAfee went negative and all that stuff, and so they fired him as CEO. Do you know what company he's the CEO of now?
No. CrowdStrike?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
John McAfee.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he dead?
Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's founded it. I can't remember. There was a post about it. Maybe I should have looked it up, made sure it was actually legit before.
Because John McAfee's dead.
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was somebody from. Let me see. CrowdStrike stock. I imagine that's doing fantastic. Man, want to know what I hate?
I want to buy some CrowdStrike stock because that shit is going to come back up.
Yeah. I just hate because like I got some stock. I got some stuff in NVIDIA and a few other tech things. And I like at the end of the day, like NVIDIA has nothing to do with CrowdStrike or anything that happened, but just all tech.
Oh, the CEO of CrowdStrike is the former CTO.
Oh, there we go.
Of McAfee.
Yeah. There we go. There it is. But yeah, I just hate I know it's all going to recoup, but yeah, my stock has gone down just because like I have a lot of tech stock and just in general when one thing in tech goes wrong, everyone's like, "Ooh, tech bad." I'm like, no,
it'll come back.
I know. That's the thing is I'm just looking at it like,
buy more,
sucks.
buy the dip.
I know I do need to buy some more actually.
Yeah, no, I lucked out. We went to a wedding last Thursday.
Yep.
I don't know when this is coming out, but it doesn't matter. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I took that off, and I was like, I'll take the Friday off. And I'm like, I need to use some vacation time. I'll take a week off after that.
Yep.
I'm surprised they did not call me back.
I also lucked out because, I also was traveling, doing a little vacation. Went to your neck of the woods. Went to Texas.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, first I just want to talk, like I said, so let's talk about CrowdStrike. And it literally, I got to be like in the zombie movie, you know, when you first see that the first guy, no one knows it's a zombie apocalypse yet. And then you feel like, hey, is Carl been acting weird? Yeah, I know. He's just a little strange. You know, I got to be that guy because, so me and my girl, we were going to Texas for a trading card game tournament. And, she wanted to just get out early, so we had a 6 a.m. flight, and so we got up early.
Yeah,
got to the airport, and
well, you were really racing the sun because that started in Australia at like 1 a.m. Yeah,
and so we get there, and we're doing what you do. You checking in baggage, or not? You checking baggage, doing your thing, and while I'm walking around, I'm like walk past this wall panel they got up there, and it's like on like a boot terminal screen. And I'm like, that's a little weird, but whatever. This stuff happens. I work in IT. Everything doesn't work all the time. And then walked a little bit farther, and there was another screen that was stuck on a Windows login, and I was like, that's a little weird. Somebody's having a bad day in IT here, but whatever. Just kept going about my business, and our flight was on time. Get on the plane. We get in the air. They got Wi-Fi, so I connect my phone to Wi-Fi. And one of my good friends of the podcast, actually, Mike. He sends out a text and he's like, man, I'm really glad I took this weekend off. And it was an article about CrowdStrike. And I open it up and it's talking about how like airports are shutting down, canceling flights, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, we just escaped. Like we saw it happening and then we got on the plane and we escaped. It was just crazy.
Well, I'm surprised that the tournament wasn't like messed with.
I mean, it's interesting.
I mean, look, there's a lot of people that were affected by it, but it's not everybody.
I mean, the tournament was affected in the sense of a lot of people didn't make it. My girl was on Discord with a bunch where everyone posts about the tournament. There's just so many people who are posting about, oh, I can't make it, or I'm trying to find a new flight. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stories. But before I jump into those stories, I guess I should really say this is episode 39 of Talkin It podcast.
39, Jesus.
39. I mean, hey, we're we're getting there. We're getting there. One day we will hit 50 episodes, Robert, and that'll be a huge milestone for the Talkin It podcast.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, so we like I said, we dodged it here in Seattle, but we get to Fort Worth and we had to get baggage claim, and like I don't know, probably just like all the logistics. I mean, that's the thing is airports are insane with like how much stuff is happening. Like you only see the front side, or when you come in and you give them your bags, like all the stuff happening behind the scenes is like stuff. But so yeah, baggage claim was a whole mess because we had to go like 3 different carousels, and like none of the signage was working because of course not everything was down. And it's just like that was messed up. And then we go to.
I mean, I'm surprised y'all made it because the FAA ordered a full ground stop.
No, I think we were already in the air and almost to our destination. So they're like, it's.
Well, I mean, they've forced some planes to just land.
Yeah, I know. Alaska. Oh no, I mean all the airlines because they listed like the airlines that were impacted, and they never listed Alaska. I don't know. Maybe they don't use.
No, my favorite part was Delta.
Yeah,
Delta was like unaffected because they're apparently running on like Windows 3.1 or something, and they're like, you can't break our stuff.
CrowdStrike. Don't even know what that is.
Yeah, what's security?
Yeah,
our security is that the only way you access the system access the system is with a 5.5-inch floppy.
Honestly, that's some pretty damn good security.
Yeah, that's why our nukes are secure, is because the system's so old that nobody knows how to hack it.
I don't know how to use how to use DOS.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I can't fire the nukes. But so we go to we'll go to rental car. That took forever, long ass line. There was one guy in line that was. And I was just like, and I heard a few other people who had the same thing, and I guess maybe it worked out for some of them because one of the guys did get back. We were at Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and
it's DFW, by the way, but go ahead.
I mean, put that DFW. It's Dallas Fort Worth Airport. That's what it's.
Yeah, DFW. I'm just saying, say it right.
I mean, that's the short. It's the same thing. DFW is the short call sign for Dallas Fort Worth International Airport.
I'm just saying, you call it DFW.
Or you can call it Dallas Fort Worth International Airport.
Or if you're a damn Yankee,
you
sure.
look it up. You look it up online. That's what it says, and then in parentheses, DFW. So I mean, both of them are valid.
I'm just saying. You don't call it the Seattle Tacoma International Airport. You call it CTAC.
You could,
but you'd be wrong.
No, you wouldn't. Technically, you are 100% valid.
I'm just trying to help you, Donnell. Okay.
All right. Anyways, so this guy was at the DFW.
Fantastic.
And
yes.
he was renting a car because he was driving to, I forget which, like I know there's another Dallas airport.
Love Field.
But I don't think he was not driving to Love Field. He was driving like to the next airport he could get to.
Yeah.
And
which was also going to have problems.
That's what I was thinking. He's like, I just need to rent a car so I can get over there.
By the way, that's a day.
Yeah.
To drive.
Yeah. Well, that was he was saying he was flying out the next day. He was like, yeah, I got to get there by tomorrow so I can fly. I got like my flight here got canceled.
But can you just take the car back to it?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the car we were driving was from freaking Florida. Someone drove it there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, as long as
I've always taken it back to the same place I got it from.
That's usually what I do too, but that's just but no, you can rent a car and just drive it. Like some places, like when we were at the car rental place, some of the rental like different companies, because they're all in like this one big room.
Yeah.
Had signs that said no one-way trips.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, most of the time it's like,
U-Haul one-way trips freak me out too, but they make sense to
Yeah.
me. It's just crazy. It's like Louis C.K. has like a stand-up routine where he's talking about he just parked his car in the regular parking garage for the airport and called him as like, here's where it is.
Yeah.
Spot number 837. Good luck.
So, so this guy was driving to like, I don't know, like Houston or something. I don't remember. I just remember he was like, yeah, I got to get there by tomorrow, so I just need to rent this car. But anyway, it took us forever to get through that. But, we got there. It was Texas. It was hot.
Yes.
It was humid. And we got in our hotel, and instantly we were like, "Where's the AC? Get that cranked up." We got it nice and cool in there.
They got the good AC in Texas.
Yeah, no, it was one of the things that like, because I've talked about it before myself, but just my girlfriend, she was just like, I guess it's just built more for this here. I'm like, of course. Like,
Where's she
if
from?
It's always hot. She's from DC.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, if it's always hot, you're going to be prepped for it. Like life can't stop just because the sun comes out. So it's like, yeah, you gotta prep for it. Like, what? That's the biggest thing. I always say that's why when I complain about Washington when it's really cold or really hot, people always be like, oh, it gets colder in Colorado or it gets hotter in Florida. I'm like, but
they got the infrastructure.
Exactly. They have the infrastructure. They are built for it. So 114 degrees in Arizona is manageable because they're built for it.
Yeah.
But 90 in Washington fucking sucks.
I tell you what, it's Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
It snows.
Yeah.
Shut down.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Half an inch.
I saw signs all over like this bridge freezes or can easily freeze in the winter, and I was like, I guess that's concerned here.
I tell you what, flooding like torrential downpour will shut down Seattle.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not Dallas.
Yeah.
Not Fort Worth. Their roads are like curved.
Yeah.
Oval.
Like dome.
Yeah. So that way, like the water runs off to the sides because they're used to flash flooding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you get a thunderstorm while you're there?
Yeah, a little one on Sunday.
Nice.
Nothing too
cool you off a bit.
It did. Sunday was actually pretty chill, and then Monday was really like it was like even a little chilly. Like I was like I could almost go for a jacket.
Nice.
Yeah, so we were there for this card tournament. Was at a one is also that's the thing, and I've always heard that southern states take local like college sports seriously.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize they take freaking high school even seriously because like
have you never seen that video with Stephen Fry?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, where
that was still college. We were driving to the event center where this tournament was, and we drove past this stadium that in most scenarios I'd be like, oh, that's a professional stadium or college stadium. We're driving past it, and my girlfriend's like, yeah, what team plays? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, we're in Fort Worth. Like maybe there's a minor league team here, or does Fort Worth have a college? And so we pull out our phone, we start looking it up, and we're like, oh no, that's a local high school stadium.
That's
just high school. Just some kids playing.
You never seen Friday Night Lights?
No. I mean, I've heard of it.
You should check out the show or the movie Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
that's real.
Oh yeah.
Like it's basically like professional NFL feel to a high school football game.
Insane.
Yeah.
But so we got to the venue, had to get checked in and registered for the thing. And I was just there as support. There were competitor badges.
Do you have like a towel to like get the forehead and like water bottles? Like
water
what
bottles.
What do you do as a support for someone playing the
water
the
bottles and snacks, man?
Okay.
And then just be there to be like, how'd the match go?
Hold the paperwork.
But here's the problem, or not the problem, but so one is like get there and like they were running this thing. It's a card game. And I'm just like, okay, it's
called Lorcana. Lorcana, yeah. Which I'd never heard of
Disney
before.
Based.
Yeah.
They don't fuck around. Like we get there and we're getting our badges.
Very serious.
And then when they're coming in, they're like, all right, if you don't have a competitor badge, you're not even allowed in this room. And I was like, oh, okay, and stuff. So I was like, I guess I'll see you.
Did you get like a lanyard or something?
Yeah, I got a lanyard. I had a attendee badge, so they're like, you can't even come in. They were very strict about.
You didn't have like a support. There was no like coaching badge.
Well, they opened up the room. They had like some pre-match meeting where like all the competitors talk. So the attendees aren't allowed. It's what's going on in there is not allowed. But so then that was the first day. And then the next day, they do side events where where people who either already lost out of the competition or just as like attendee, you can waste some time because matches take about an hour because they play multiple ranked games. So, see, my girlfriend made me a deck, and she's like, "Yeah, why don't you do a side event?"
Has she taught you how to play?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
have you played with her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
She kick your ass?
Yes.
She didn't give you the good deck.
I mean, she did for this event, which actually I'll talk about. But so yeah, she gave me a deck and all that stuff. I'm like, sweet, all right. And I'll go dabble, a little side event. So it's the player meeting that was at 9, and I started. And the first side event was until 10. So I was like, I'm just gonna go chill for a little bit, and I'm relaxing. And then I get, after that, it's like 9:50. Like I said, probably go check in. And I go in, and I see that the tournament's in full swing. I'm like, oh, they already started. Okay, cool. And then I go to my side event, and like I said, I'm expecting, I'm a nobody. I'm saying, we're gonna play a quick round of Lorcana.
Yeah, you're gonna play some 12-year-old girl and just chill.
They sit me down like, this is even though this is a side event, this is competition rules. This is 8 hours of play. I'm like 8 hours.
Whoa.
Yes. I was like, I signed up for a little
little side tournament.
I was telling her like, hey, I'll go get you lunch during the day, and if you need anything, I got you. And
it'd be like forfeit.
So I play my first 2 rounds, and then I go out to see, and they're like, oh, you can go in there now. So I go in and I go find her, and she's like,
what did you get me into?
She's like, how's it going? I was like, well, apparently I'm playing Lorcana for the next 6.5 hours. I was like,
that's what we do here, man.
I had no idea. And she was like, what? Like, no, even she didn't know. It was like, she thought it was just going to be like, maybe 2 hours or something. She didn't even know. At one point, because we brought a jacket, and she's like, if it gets really cold in there because of the AC, I might want it. So at one point, I'm like, I just finished a match. Or no, my next match is like, you're on the clock too. I didn't tell you. So like, I'm sitting there, and my next match starts in like 1 minute and 45 seconds, and I get a text going, I really could use my coat right now. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I had to you got a play mat, you got your deck, you got some dice, you got a pen and paper for keeping over. I'm like getting all my shit and like trying to pick it up, and like I can't put it in my bag because that's where a coat is, and I need to put it. So I got that, and I'm like hustling over there, and I run in there. And I run up to her, and she's sitting there, and she's like, "Oh,
she's like,
man.
oh, I don't need that."
Well, no, I given her her coat, and then she's like, "Yeah, my last match didn't go well." And I literally was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't sit and chat with you about how your match went because I got to get back to my game." Run off. I'm just like, suddenly I'm like, "What is going on?" Suddenly I'm a player here. But yeah, I played 8 hours of Lorcana.
Jesus,
it's a pretty fun game, and I went 50%. So it was 8 matches. I went. And it was 2 games each in a match. And so I went 2-0 for 3 games. I went 0-2 for 3 games. And I went 1-1 twice. So exactly 50%. That's
odd that they do fit, that they have it as an even number.
Yeah.
So you can have a tie.
Well, so there's the first, I think the second match, for whatever reason, which I think is weird, is worth more points. So if there is a tie, then they go to who won more second matches. And then if there's a tie in the second matches, I forget what. Like I know in the actual competition, like then there's tiebreakers, so they make you play additional matches. They specifically said we weren't doing tiebreakers, so I don't know what would have happened if there was a tie on second matches also. But it's also they're very important. Like make sure, like if you're playing somebody, make sure you record who won what match. Right, because like if I win second match, but I just let the person put in like, oh, we went 1-1, and he puts me down for first match, then technically he's higher in the ranking than me. Like you want, so like there was a lot of check because it was all done through an app, and there's a lot of people checking their phone, and like they'd be like, this right? Like they show you what they put in.
Interesting. Sounds like chaos.
Yeah, yeah. So
sounds like a problem that would happen if CrowdStrike.
Yeah.
Cause any sort of issue with their computer system. Like,
so I got top 15.
Oh,
which was pretty.
Did you
nice.
win anything?
Yeah, actually. So, one is they had estimated. They had estimated that there was going to be at least 200 people in the side event. There was not. There was only.
There would have been if for.
There's a good chance. Yeah. There was only 32 of us, and the thing that was nice, and only 31 of us showed up. So the 31 who showed up, the one guy, like every round there was one person who just got a free.
Nice
and stuff. I never got the free one. But anyways, so there's 32 of us, and because of the thing, there was automatically the top 34 got either a shirt or a hat. So the day started off with everybody wins something. Like they were like, hey, there's only 34 or 31 of you, or there's only gonna be 32 of you today. So everybody gets a shirt or a hat. And everyone's like, woo! And so then the top 16 got tickets, and you could use tickets to get different things, and basically it was like 16 through, or I'll do it the reverse just so I can remember. If you got first place, you got 300 tickets. Second and third got 150 tickets each. No. First place was 300. Second place was 200. Third and fourth was 150 each. And then fifth through 16 got 80 tickets. And so I got 80 tickets. And then for being an attendee, they gave me 6 tickets for free.
Okay.
And then where did I get the 7 tickets from? Oh, yeah. Then for playing it in a competition, I got another 7 tickets. So I had a total of 93 tickets. So
are these like digital tickets?
No, they're paper tickets.
Okay. I was wondering if this is like something you get on like your tournament app that you've got now.
No.
Because you're in the system.
No.
And like you can carry that on from tournament to tournament.
No, they made it very clear that the tickets are only for the tournament that you're at, because there's more tournaments happening. But anyways, so there's this play mat there, and like everybody wants it. It's like a really rare playmat. It's 90 tickets. And I'm like, day one. 8 hours, but still, one competition. Bam. Donnell's top 15, 80 tickets plus 13. I got the playmat. I didn't get the playmat though.
Because there was only one.
No, there was a bunch. And there was a ton.
You didn't get the playmat for your girl?
Well, see, that's the thing. She already has it.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Then I was like, what do you want? So I gave her the shirt that I got. And then she's like, let's get a hat. I'm like, all right, we'll get a hat and a shirt. Got her some cards and some other stuff and some special cards that cost a little bit. And I'm just like, yeah. It was like, and everyone's like,
baller.
Everyone was like, you didn't get the playmat? And I was just like, nah, man, I don't need that.
No, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah. And it was funny.
I don't need a playmat.
She let me pick because she also let me like take one of her playmats to play with. And she let me pick one. I just picked one at random. Apparently, it's like a really rare one. Everybody's coming to me like, oh, man, love your playmat. And I was just like, and like they kept telling me like, dude, like you could sell that for like $200-$300.
Jesus.
And I was just like, you got it on, you know? No. Oh, you think that one? There was a playmat there, Robert, and my girl thought about buying it for a second, and I was like, I mean, it's her money. She can do what she wants. But there was a playmat there for $1,200.
Jesus.
And I was just like, frickin' hey. There were cards there that were like $600 to $700.
Oh, I can imagine that. Yeah.
But anyway, so that was.
Do you have a picture of this $1,200 playmat by chance?
I didn't. Well, yes, we took a picture, but no, not on my camera.
So are these playmats? Are they like mouse pad quality?
Yeah.
Some of these look pretty sick.
There's some pretty nice ones. There's some really nice ones out there.
I'm looking at this one for like Tinkerbell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
there's a pretty.
This
cool...
would make a really good like Jesus. Okay, sorry. I'm looking through playmats right now. I'm like, that's an anime Tinkerbell right there. That's a
yeah. I saw that one day.
She is looking a little
little
not
there,
minor.
not Disney Channel for sure.
I mean, look at this. This is Lorcana compatible 12. Okay, okay, this doesn't really tell me exactly what it is. I'm like, this would be a damn good mouse pad.
You could easily use a playmat
if you were into
as a
Disney
mouse
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You'd easily use one of these playmats on a mouse pad. Anyways, so unfortunately, because it's a 2-day event and you have to get enough points from day 1 to get to day 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, my girl didn't make it to day 2.
Oh.
And so we had Sunday free though.
She still win something though? Anything?
No, so that's the thing that also sucks. Since he's done a couple of these tournaments, you play in a competition, unless you get in the top, like you get nothing at all.
Is she sponsored?
One day we're hoping.
Okay.
We're gonna get
Okay.
there.
Fair enough.
But
everybody starts from zero.
My thing is this: I'm just like I said, I played.
But it sucks that she had to front the tickets and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, I played one competition. My ticket cost less than her. I didn't have to. I did have to pay to be in the competition, but I got enough out of it and stuff. And I'm just sitting there. I was like, yeah, you play in this. He was even saying, he's like, you play in the side events. You're almost guaranteed to get stuff. You play in the main thing. You're like. But it's
it was only guaranteed for you to get
ranking.
Something because
but that thing is you can do multiple
show
side events is what I'm saying.
I got you. Yeah.
I did an 8-hour one, but they had other ones that started out throughout the day, and some of them were shorter and stuff. You actually get there were.
I'm assuming on the second day that they had also had side stuff that she got into.
Well, she didn't feel like playing, so we didn't do
okay,
second day side events. But yeah, a lot of people. That thing is we went there because I didn't have all my tickets on me when we wanted to buy stuff, so they wouldn't allow you to leave the venue. There was a parking lot, you paid for parking, but then they closed the parking entrances and exits.
Interesting.
And then after I finished my tournament, I was like, I need to get some stuff for us at the hotel and stuff, so I'll just go and get it and see what she had. I think 4 more matches, so that's 4 hours essentially. I'm like, yeah, I'll just go take care of that. And so I go out there in the parking lot. They have all the parking lots closed and they have attendants at the exit. I'm like, hey, paid for parking, all day parking and all that stuff. I got my thing right here. If I leave, you'll let me back in, right? They're like, oh no, if you leave, you're not coming back in. I was like, oh,
that's weird.
So I then elected to walk.
Ooh, Donnell.
And wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a warm day, but I'm pretty good. I've said to a lot of people
look, Texas heat's different than other places' heat.
I feel like. So far, I mean, I haven't been to all the hot places, but I mean, I've been down to Louisiana and that sort of stuff. I've been to Arizona, Vegas, Texas now. I haven't been to Florida yet, but stuff. I feel like I am built for U.S. heat Because I've been out in all those places. And like I said, the one I always talk about the most, but I definitely know dry heat, and I 100% say, but it's way different than humidity, is I've been in Arizona and I walked to Sonic and back in 119-degree weather. I mean, you bring water, and I just want to you bring water, but it's like, I can handle it. So the walking wasn't too bad. I walked to the store, got what we needed, but then on the way back, I was like, I don't want to walk. Like, everything was like a mile and a half. I was like, I don't feel like walking my house. They had bicycles that you could check out or rent, stuff. But unlike here in Washington, where it's just like you ride it to like the bicycle or scooter thing, you ride it somewhere and then you just leave it on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
In Texas, like, you have to drop them off at a bike depot.
Yeah.
So I had to look up where one was, and I found one that was close. What I wasn't paying attention to, though, because this was at a big convention center / like, there was like concert hall and all this stuff. I got close to the venue, but I was on the completely opposite side. And so I had to walk around it. And they were doing
That's a big venue too.
It's a big venue. And they were doing I don't know, like cow. What is it when you bring everyone brings their cows into town and they're showing them off and people can buy them? Like, it wasn't like a show, but it was like some sort of, like, I don't know. They were selling cows.
I don't know why I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah.
Not a fairgrounds.
No. See, but anyways, they were selling cows. So I was walking through all that.
Fort Worth is honky tonk, man. Dallas is a whole different
people were looking at me. They also had like some weird store shop going on there. On my way back, I also, like, as everyone always says, everything's bigger in Texas. I walked past this woman, Robert, and she had to have, like, I don't even know what these would qualify as, like, size, like, quadruple G's, like 100% fake. But I was just like, why? What are you, like? I don't even know. How do you live like that? But, like, she just was like, mind her own business. I was like, yes, do you, whatever makes you happy. And like I said, everything's bigger in Texas, and they don't lie. But anyway, so yeah, I walked, rode a bike back. Dude, I haven't ridden a bike in so long that, like, honestly, it was more taxing.
It's been a long time since I rode a bike.
It was more taxing on me riding the bike than it was walking. Like, I was so out of breath. I was like, I feel so ashamed of myself. I was so out of breath when I dropped it off. But anyway, so day 2, though, we had free time. We went to an interactive aquarium.
Stockyard, by the way.
Stockyard, there we go.
Yeah. By the way, side note, I'm still addicted to looking at these Lorcana mats. I'm not a big Disney guy, but I got to tell you, the Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard looks sick as fuck.
Yeah.
That is. I'm not even a Winnie Pooh person either, but I'm looking at it being like,
You're like, I could buy that.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so we went to interactive aquarium. Basically aquarium where you get to touch all the animals and stuff. But it was weird. So we looked it up, and it was like 8 minutes away from our hotel, and we drove to where Google said it was.
Dallas Aquarium better than the Fort Worth Aquarium, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we didn't make it over to Dallas.
Just saying.
But
you would have had to drive through Arlington. It would have been.
We drove to where this aquarium was, and we're both looking around, and we're like, this looks like a vacant mall. And we're both like, okay, Google.
There are some weird zombie ghost malls going on.
Well, we were like, Google's effing up. This obviously, there's no aquarium here, because why would there be? But I was like, well, let's get out and, like, take a quick look. And so I'm walking up to the doors, and inside there was a sign that literally read, "Come to Sequest Aquarium." It's right next to J.C. Penney, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Repurpose that shit, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we went in, and there was an aquarium inside of the mall next to J.C. Penney, and it was very much like we're walking through this mall, and like you said, it's zombie mall. All the stores are closed. It's empty. We don't see anybody else. But then when you get to the aquarium and JCPenney, that's where all the life is. Like, suddenly all the shops around that area are open. But then we looked at another angle of the mall, back to zombie. Like, basically just like this little oasis in the middle of the mall. We go in this aquarium, and they freaking got like a tank full of stingrays that you just walk up, and the stingrays are very much like
very sad,
used to being fed by humans, because they just come right up and be like, hey, what's up? And like, you can touch stingrays. They had snakes. They said it was an aquarium, but like they had everything there. And the whole time I'm like, this isn't a freaking mall. I'm just like, what the hell is going on in Texas? But yeah, that was pretty much the trip. That was pretty much it. It was fun. It was hot. It was muggy everywhere we went. I'd go back. I'd go back, check it out again. It was fun.
Disney Lorcana playmat. Gen Con first official tournament winner, $25,000.
Yeah.
The insanity.
We saw the guy who won this time. Yeah, you win some stuff. Like, so our goal was to get to day 2.
Yeah.
And then our next goal, because there is, I think it's the top 32 of each regional tournament, which there was one in Atlanta, one in Chicago, Fort Worth was the third one. Next one is going to be in Toronto. And then there's one in Seattle, one in Vegas. And the top 32 from all of those, so each one, make it into the, I guess, international tournament. Because there's tournaments going on over in Europe, too. And so, yeah, so that's where she really wants to make it to, I mean, she'd love to win, of course.
Yeah.
Win, but she's really, we're just really aiming for top 32.
Nice.
That gets us into the international. But yeah, that was my trip. It was interesting. It was fun. It was hot, and we avoided the end of days crowd strike.
Nice. Nice.
Robert, you were also doing a little bit of traveling.
Yeah, but let's take a break first.
Okay.
And when we'll come back, we'll talk about Robert's adventures.
Yes, let's do that.
Apparently, Donnell isn't done talking.
Sorry.
So,
because we were talking about CrowdStrike and all that, and how it affected people. One of the guys in my little tournament that I played with, he came from Washington D.C. Or he was coming from Washington D.C. And this was just for me. It's like the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast is he was coming from Washington D.C. and his flight got canceled. He drove 2 states over and caught a flight out of there. And I'm like, you can't do that in Washington. You can't drive. You drive 2 states over, it's 2 days later.
That's right.
I was like, the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast is that you literally can just drive a little bit and you're 2 states away at another international airport.
Well, I mean, I can do that. You can get. So Robert took a road trip.
You could get to Portland. You couldn't get to anywhere in California with an airport.
In a day? I could.
I mean, you could, but would you be able to?
You get to Boise. Boise's got an international airport.
Yeah, and I guess you would cut through. Because I'm thinking of going, you got to go through 2 states. Because I want to do the equivalent of 2 states.
Yeah.
But I guess you would cut across the top of Oregon, so I guess that counts.
No, I get you. Yeah. But yeah, states are smaller on the East Coast versus the West Coast. I'm with you completely. Yeah. Anyways. Never mind if you're in Dallas.
Yeah. No. I'd say Texas is a totally different story.
I guess you could get to an international airport in Austin in like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
From Dallas.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so I had a week off. Been a while since I took a road trip, and I decided the Grand Canyon's been on my list for quite some time.
Yeah.
I did a circuit a couple of years ago where I drove down through Salt Lake City. So I was just going for a drive. I go for a drive. It's 4,000 miles. Just chilling. Just day. Out of nowhere. It's what I like to do. It's my hobby.
You get that music on. That's a good.
Yeah. Every time somebody's like, "Hey, I'm like going on a road trip," they're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just driving for like 3,000 miles. It's just I don't care."
I mean, that's one thing me and you have in common that also like I feel like nobody else does. Because like I mean, I usually have a destination, but like a lot of times it's just like, oh, I so much enjoy just being in my car.
I mean, look, I always have a destination.
Yeah.
I just don't care that I get there.
Yeah.
I care that I get there because I want to live,
Yeah.
But the destination is not the point. The being in the open road is the point. Yeah.
And when I talk to other people, I
can't wait to take a long road trip with you, Donnell.
Yeah.
And see how good my music collection really is. But
when I talk to other people about that, they're just like, "Oh, that sounds terrible," and I'm like, "Dude,
no, it's the greatest thing ever.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, you're alone.
Oh, you're just out. I get some of my best thinking done.
That's right.
Out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
I did this circuit, and I was mostly searching for lamps, and I didn't find many. And but I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to drive down and go to all these places through Salt Lake City, and then down around went to Phoenix, and then back up through Death Valley, because I'd never driven through Death Valley before.
Okay.
Just going to small towns and stuff and hitting up their antique malls and whatnot. Anyway, when I did that trip, I passed by the Grand Canyon and I was like, I should just go to the Grand Canyon. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, that's like a whole trip unto itself. I shouldn't do that. That was wrong. I was wrong. So anyway, Grand Canyon was the destination. Go head down, see the Grand Canyon, then come back. Start out first day, drive to Twin Falls, Idaho. From Seattle, about 12 hours, Nothing exciting about that drive, really, except that Twin Falls, Idaho, has its own canyon. The Twin Falls come from that. There's a bunch of falls that go into a big canyon there. Arrived at sunset, got some beautiful pictures of that canyon. I drove through, didn't even know the canyon was there. I've driven through Twin Falls before, but maybe it was at night or something. Saw it and it was like, okay. Go and check into the hotel. Got a Best Western, and then turn around. It's like, okay, I gotta go back out there and catch the sunset at this canyon. Got some wonderful pictures. Stayed the night there. Then got on the road and drove from Twin Falls, Idaho to Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay,
I've done this drive before. Like I said, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
There is it is worth it just for one single view.
Okay. This is a view.
When you are coming into Arizona, just after you pass through Utah, going into the Navajo Nation, which is a giant chunk of Arizona, of the northeast corner of Arizona, you kind of climb. I wouldn't call it a mountain, but an extremely large hill.
Okay.
And you kind of go through a canyon that's not natural, that they just cut out a chunk of the hill for the road, for the highway to go through. And you kind of go through a curve, and then you come out, and you're about, I don't know what above sea level, but you're about 5,000 miles, not miles, feet. 5,000 miles. The stratosphere, people. Stratosphere.
That's a little hill, Robert?
yeah. 5,000 feet above kind of this valley, which is called Monument Valley.
Okay.
And you turn this corner, and you can just see for thousands of miles in every direction, and you can see all the monuments of Monument Valley, and it's just beautiful, amazing vista. And I always seem to hit it, because I'm usually coming from Seattle, which means I'm going to get halfway and then halfway, right? And throughout the day, so it's always kind of like it's sunset time. Yeah. Just amazing time to see this vista. Amazing. I've got some beautiful pictures of that, not from this trip, but from previous trips. Totally just, I can't even, the awe of it is insane. Just looking over it. Anyway, headed to Flagstaff, because I was like, okay, I'm going to head from Flagstaff to the Grand Canyon the next day. Whatnot. Stayed in Flagstaff. Nothing exciting there.
Yeah.
Nothing really exciting happened
it's Arizona.
during this first half of the trip, other than that amazing view. I should go do Monument Valley sometime, but wasn't part of the trip this time around.
Right.
Anyway, stay the night in Flagstaff. I planned to get up. The plan was, so there's like three main. There's one main entrance into a secondary entrance and then a tertiary entrance into the Grand Canyon. The main entrance is the South Rim entrance. Second one is the East entrance, or known as the Desert View entrance. And then there's the North entrance. North entrance is closed off most of the year. Originally, that's where I planned to go, but then after I did more research, I decided no, I wasn't going to do that. I did a bunch of reading, and it said, okay, go in the East entrance and then come out the South. Because the South is I don't know if you ever done Yellowstone.
Yeah.
But when I did Yellowstone, I did by accident.
You did Yellowstone by accident.
By accident, yeah. So I there was one time I had a long weekend, and I'd always wanted to drive. This is like a sidebar. The Beartooth Highway.
Okay.
Beartooth Highway is supposed to be the most beautiful drive in America. I disagree with that.
Okay.
I think the $1 Million Highway going from Denver to Salt Lake City is the most beautiful drive I've ever done. Just an insane highway through just an amazing canyon.
Nice.
In the mountains. Just absolutely amazing. Beartooth Highway is fantastic, though. But it's only open for 2 months a year.
Okay.
Because it's so high up, 12,000 feet or something. that it's just snowed over and impossible to drive usually. So this is a very small window of time during the year to do it. And I just happened to have like a long weekend where I could do it. So I drove out to Montana and drove the Beartooth Highway, which only took me like, I don't know, 3 hours to drive it, right? A bunch of switchbacks, all this stuff. You know, it's very cool. What I didn't know is that the Beartooth Highway leads into the entrance of Yellowstone. So I'm like, I guess I'm doing Yellowstone today because I woke up early to go drive the thing. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm here.
I'm
here. Might as well drive through it. So I did Yellowstone backwards. Right? Because I didn't go through the main entrance.
Yeah.
And the main entrance is where like Old Faithful is.
Right.
And so I'm like going against traffic or against, yeah. So I'm like, I've got an easy drive.
Yeah.
You know, and I just busted that thing out in a day and then, started heading back, to Seattle and stuff. But when you get to like Old Faithful, insanity. Like most of the time I'm going to these spots and it's like a few cars here, a few cars there. When you get to Old Faithful, it's like,
everybody.
A million people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And crazy. It's like that at the Grand Canyon. Okay. So I wake up in Flagstaff, get some breakfast. I'd planned to go at sunrise, but I didn't know that sunrise happened at 5 a.m. And I set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. So it was like already well into it.
Yeah.
By that time.
It's already done.
So I didn't get to take pictures of the sunrise at the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
Anyway, go in the east entrance. Perfectly fine. No line. Just no line whatsoever. Nice. Line for the south entrance, 4 or 5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And I saw this when I came out the other side.
Yeah.
Just a string of cars for miles.
Okay.
Getting in, right? Anyway, I got in at like 8 a.m. probably, pretty early. Hit the first spot which is the Desert View. There's like a tower there. I could have waited an hour if I wanted to like go up to the top of this tower. It's not that important, but just amazing view. I've always been told that the Grand Canyon is the one like monument or national park that will not disappoint, and it did not.
Nice.
I think I would have liked it better 20 years ago.
Why do you say that?
Because I've seen a lot.
Okay.
I've driven all over this country.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around the world in some instances. I've seen a lot of majestic beauty. And of course, I live in the Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
It just didn't. And of course, I'm coming. Most people fly in and then take like a charter bus or something. And a lot of people are foreigners.
Yeah.
From other countries that don't have the natural scenic beauty that the United States have, like China, Japan, the UK, Europe in general, Africa. They all have amazing things, but the U.S. and as far compared to any other country has them beat.
Yeah,
because for one thing, we protected it.
Yeah,
very early on, we said these are national parks and are not to be touched. They are for everyone to enjoy, and we just have a lot of land with a lot of crazy features.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I mean. It's the one
a lot of biomes
about the U.S. is like, are we the biggest country? No, but China, Russia got us beat, even Canada and stuff. But it's like, but we have, when it comes to like size with what I call like usable land, we blow these other Russia.
Yeah, like Brazil's giant, but it's all mountain.
Yeah, exactly. And like Russia's bigger than us, but like so much of it's like mountain and snow.
It's just tundra.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, while we're not the biggest country, I do think if we're going by size of like usable and enjoyable land, I think we.
I think if you look like at other countries, they may have 2 or 3 really like insane like features.
Yeah,
we've got like 50 easily. It's pretty crazy, and the Grand Canyon is certainly one of them. But I mean, I just driven down through that Monument Valley in Navajo and seeing that majestic overlook, which is just second to none in maybe the world. And it's like, okay, well now I come and see this, which is really good. But I've seen a lot of stuff, and so this isn't really. There are other things that match it. Yeah. So, but still amazing. I'm still glad that I went and saw it. Second, there's basically like a road that runs along the southern rim, and there's a bunch of turnouts to look at different views. Most of them are all the same. There's like about 10 of them, and they're all basically the same view from a different angle.
Yeah.
So there's not. Yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of a little lame.
Yeah.
To a degree. But still fantastic. If you've never been, worth going. It's $35 to get in. If you're not going to do a lot of hiking, if you're not going to do any camping, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 if you got a family, or you really want to hang out for a while in any of these places. That's why I'm saying, like, the previous trip, I could have just squeezed it in.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a whole day. I planned for the whole day. I was going to drive back to Flagstaff and stay there again. No, you can get that. They even have signs at, like, the main entrance. It's like, hey, if you're here for 2 or 4 hours, here's what you do.
Yeah.
It's like the second sign that you see. It's like, hey, what do you do? What are things to do here? It's like, here's a whole day. You got 2 hours? Here, do this list, right? Just drive this road and check out these things. Second one, I was very excited about because there was no one else there. It was very early. I was going against the traffic. The tourists really hadn't started flowing in yet. Get there. I'm sitting there. I'm just enjoying the vista of it all. I'd taken my pictures. I was standing on the edge of a cliff that went down 4,000 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, I was terrified.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking a cigarette, just taking it in, and all of a sudden, fucking drone hovering about 100 feet above me.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I was so pissed. Completely destroyed the entire ambiance of the situation.
Yeah.
I wrote a complaint letter. Like, when I got to, like, the main thing, I was like, y'all got to do something about these damn drones. I took a picture of it. I was so pissed. Anyway, moved on, went site to site to site, got to the main entrance, bought myself a t-shirt, bought myself a mouse pad because I needed one for work, bought myself a keychain because I love to collect keychains because I drive. It's just like, somebody collects plates or cups or whatever. I collect keychains because I drive everywhere, It's just, and then I update my key ring with whatever the latest one, and then I've got a big, like, chain link of like 100 keychains that I've collected all over the world and whatnot. Got some amazing pictures. It was cool. It is beautiful. It is amazing. It's amazing. I mean, you're a mile and a half up. Like, I mean, the depth of it, the breadth of it, of how wide it is, and whatnot. It's a crazy. Pictures cannot do it justice.
No.
Seeing it in person is something that must be done.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go there. So anyway, 3 hours is what it took me to make my way through the park. I got to, like, the main area where all the tourist people were, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the IMAX theater. I don't want to go through any of the tours. It's 110 degrees. I don't want to do any major hikes. Like, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Just get it done. It was funny too because I had, like, my nice Nikon, my $4,000 camera. And I'm walking around and I'm seeing all these people, like, trying to take selfies, or like a mom trying to take a picture of the family. I'm like, oh, I can help you out with that. So, like, probably like 10 people. I was like, oh, I'll take the picture of it for you, whatnot. So I felt, I felt good about myself about being that helpful tourist and whatnot. Left the park and I'm like, well, I guess I don't have any reason to go back to Flagstaff and stay for the night when it's 11 a.m. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start heading back.
Yeah.
It's like 22 hours back to Seattle. I'm like, I can't do that in one shot.
Nah.
So I start planning the trip. First thing I see is, like, Las Vegas. I'm like, I would really like to avoid Las Vegas because I do not like driving through Las Vegas. No. I do not like getting anywhere near Las Vegas. I don't like staying in Las Vegas. Had to drive through Las Vegas.
Ooh, oh.
Yeah, midday traffic.
No.
Not good.
No.
At one point, I had this white Audi, start tailgating me. I'm already almost tailgating the person in front of me.
Yeah.
And they were really tailgating me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with this situation. I didn't brake check them. I just eased off the gas.
Yeah.
And they started tailgating me more.
Of course.
And then they finally, like, see a spot and, like, move over to the left, start driving forward. I just give them the middle finger as they pass by, not even looking at them because I'm, like, barely holding it together in this traffic. They get in front of me, cop.
Nice.
Like, not just, like, in a cop car.
Yeah.
But they're apparently in Las Vegas area, they've got license plates that are like, I am a police officer, but this is my day car.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? And he was just tearing through traffic, like, just bullying people everywhere on the road and, like, tailgating them until they moved out of the way. And there was, like, another cop, like, personal vehicle that was, like, helping him. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. Am I going to get shot because I just fucked with this police officer? Anyway, nothing came of it. But we were stuck together through almost all of Vegas, and I was just, like, sweating bullets. Like, I don't know if this guy's he's pretty pissed at me because I, like, almost brake checked him, sort of, and, like, I don't know. It was weird. I hate Vegas.
Yeah.
I hate Vegas. I hate all of Southern Nevada. I'll tell you that. Yeah. It was, like, midday. And I stopped at, man, I'm maybe getting this out of order, but I also went to the Hoover Dam.
Okay, all right.
Because I had time, you know. I think the Hoover Dam is before Las Vegas. But anyway, I stopped through a town, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get some gas and whatnot. I stopped at an Arby's, and I made one of the smartest snap decisions I ever made, which sounds like a pretty basic thing that you would just do.
Yeah.
I had like 4 gallons of water on me, but it was warm water. Because it's been in the car. I've been traveling through the desert for quite some time, for a couple of days. And, I get get a roast beef sandwich, get some fries, whatever, just something to snack on while I'm driving through the day. And I'm like, oh, can you give me a large thing of ice?
Yes.
A large cup of ice. And he's like, yeah, I can do that. Smartest decision I've ever made, for sure. I get to the Hoover Dam. I tell you now, no. Not worth.
Nah.
Look at pictures.
Yeah.
Read about it. Do not need to go there.
Nope.
I get there. First of all, they are very serious about security at the Hoover Dam. I had to go through a checkpoint. They questioned me.
Oh, they questioned?
They're like, do you have any firearms? Do you have any bombs? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Why are you here? Do you have any drones? There were 20 signs. It's a quarter mile. There were 20 signs that said no drones.
Yeah.
Can we get this at the Grand Canyon, please? Because the drones really ruined my moment of zen at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't like bombs. Sure, not that a bomb could do anything against the bridge, the dam, the Hoover Dam. By the way, you don't get within a mile of it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Firearm? I don't know. I mean, first of all, this is America. We have the Second Amendment. I'll bring a fucking firearm to the bridge of the Hoover Dam if I damn well please. But anyway, that's my. I'm for sensible gun laws, okay? But I'm still a Second Amendment Andy to some degree, okay? I believe guns are fun and people should be allowed to have them, but we should have some rules. Yeah. Anyway, enough with the politics.
I just want some rules.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't sell AR-15 that can be turned into a machine gun with a 400-round clip to a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That seems sensible.
And maybe we should check to make sure that they haven't been recently institutionalized, prior to selling it to them. Anyway, barring all that, let them have the gun.
Yeah,
I'm also look. We don't have time to go into my Second Amendment rant. I think we should be allowed to have nukes. I've read what the words say. Bear arms. Nuke is an arm. It is. Change it or rewrite it or what or give me my nuke anyway. or let me get a centrifuge so I can make my own. Anyway, when you go to the Hoover Dam after you get through the checkpoint and all this stuff, you park, and then it's basically like a bridge.
Yep.
That you walk across. Have you been there?
I have been.
Okay.
Yep.
I went there at the end of July. That's one of the hottest months.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I already know it's like 112 degrees.
Yep.
I get out of the car and I'm like, oh, this is rough. But I'm like, I'm doing it, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not coming back here. I hate Southern Nevada. I'm not coming back.
Yeah, you're here.
Okay? Just get it done and out of the way so that way I don't have any reason to come back to Southern Nevada. You start walking and you got to walk up a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
And there's signs at every rung of the stairs that say, be careful. There is no one to help you. We are not responsible. Bring shade, bring water, bring sunscreen.
Yep.
I've done none of these things. I get halfway up these stairs. I'm like SpongeBob from that episode where he goes into the air dome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm drying out very quickly, but I don't need it. Finger in the air. Get to the top of this bridge, walk halfway across, take 2 pictures, and start walking back. I am dying.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Sweating buckets.
You are done.
I have been doing pretty good. Oh, you know what I didn't talk about? Let's roll it back. So I'm very bad about wearing sunscreen because I usually don't go out in the sunlight. Yeah. I'm a goth. Like a very pale skin.
That's why I feel like you should be good at it though, because
I just don't usually put myself in positions where I need sunscreen.
But if you end up in that position, you should be prepared.
But the last time I did the desert trip, which I talked about earlier,
yep.
I didn't wear sunscreen when I got back. I was pretty burnt. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it this time. I didn't find it. They don't sell sunscreen at gas stations. Can we talk about that for a second?
Seems backwards.
That needs. I need to talk to all the Sinclairs and Loves. BP. And Mavericks, all the gas station, major chains. Sunscreen, yo. Yeah. Sell sunscreen. People will buy it.
Yeah.
Okay, because they forget, just like me, or they run out.
100%.
Need sunscreen. I don't put on sunscreen very often. So I slathered myself up, found like a Safeway or something in Flagstaff. Put all the sunscreen on my face, got a big dollop in my left eye. I almost couldn't open it for like 4 hours. The whole time I was at the Grand Canyon, I was having to force myself to open it. And of course, I was like dabbing away like tears and all the stuff off my eye. So it rubbed away all the sunscreen.
Yeah.
So like that part around my eye was getting burnt all day. It was the worst. Anyway. Just add insult to injury. By the time I got to the Hoover Dam, it was mostly fine. But and I do have like some like the skin is rough, more lizardy around my left eye today than it has been normally. Anyway, when I got out of the car, I was like fine. Right, because I had been wearing sunscreen, right? But the sunscreen doesn't last. It lasts maybe like an hour and a half, right?
Yep.
By the time that I got back to the car, I looked like that guy from Chernobyl that they made look over the ledge. I was like, what has happened to me? And like the span of 25 minutes, life has made a turn for the worse. Okay, I was fine when I got to the Hoover Dam, but between getting out of the car and getting back in the car, it was no good. Turn on the car, and the car starts screaming at me, "I need oil." It's like, it's too hot. Please give me oil. That's about the moment I realized that I had a full like 64-ounce cup of ice water.
Nice.
Smartest decision I ever made. I don't know why I haven't ever done that before, driving through a place and just like, give me some ice water to put in my thermos.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I had it. Luckily, it was just the 15% warning. I need to go get a oil change tomorrow, but it was fine. I knew it was going to happen at some point. But Hoover Dam, not worth it.
No.
I'm just like, get me, as soon as I got back in the car, I'm like, get me out of this state. I'm at the southern point. It is no good. It is no good. Anyway, making my way through Las Vegas, make my way north. The whole time I'm like, I'm never coming back to Nevada ever again. Ever again. And then I got to northern Nevada. Northern Nevada is kind of okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I like that part of the drive.
It's got some mountains.
Yep.
It's got some forest.
Yep.
It's not just a dry desert. I don't know how they allowed this biome to exist in this state. I thought, in my experience driving through the states, that's kind of where the line happens. Is when a biome change happens. That's kind of where they're like, it's like, oh, here's a big mountain or a river or something, and here's where the clouds are versus where the clouds aren't. We're gonna draw the line there.
Yep.
But yeah, I got onto some. I like to take the state roads, state highways instead of the main one. Just to see more, be more scenic. Less traffic, all that sort of thing. I got onto Highway 376. I would have sold my soul to Satan for a Koenigsegg. Do you know what a Koenigsegg is?
Yes.
For those that don't know what a Koenigsegg is, it's a very expensive supercar.
Yep.
Probably the fastest in the world. I think their record is like 375 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
It's I think like the minimum asking price for their lowest model is $3 million.
Yeah,
and normally they go for like 25 million.
You're shoveling out some serious cash.
Yeah, it's an amazing company and worth looking at. The cars are crazy. They make everything.
Of engineering.
Yeah.
To make these cars, and what I really love is they will like you said, they hold them, and Bugatti still sometimes passes them every once in a while, but still, for years they've been going back and forth, or a lot of times when the next newest fastest car comes out, it's just a newer Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love is they will release the car and like fastest car we've ever made, and like okay, and then they will go into the R&D lab and they will figure out how to tweak this figure here to save off some there, and they do all this work that probably cost them a couple million, maybe even $1 billion, and they're like, this is the new fastest car. Like, oh yeah, what you got now? It's like last car 317 miles per hour. This car 317.2.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's just insanity. Yeah. The amount of engineering they put in to eat. But that's because, especially I like to watch this documentary talking about land speed records.
Yeah.
And there's like, there is only so much you can eat out, like because of all the physics that are built into it. Like when it comes to like flying in a plane, like stuff, especially if you go above the atmosphere, but even in the atmosphere, you can still we're like, oh, with better technology and all that stuff, we can easily get faster and faster. But like the land is like, it's just scientifically impossible. Yeah. And so like
at some point you got to deal with the pressure of wind.
Yeah, you're just hitting these gains of now what used to be like, oh, we beat it by 15 miles. Then it was 10 miles per hour. Now it's 5 miles. And then now it's like, no, we're beating it by half of a mile per hour, if not less. But like that's the goal.
Koenigsegg, look it up. It's crazy. The owner sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger because it's crazy. He's Austrian. But they make everything but the tires. Yes. They make in-house every nut and bolt and everything. The Aries RS is the car that I'd want. It does there's no transmission. Yeah. Like the engine and the drive shaft do not physically touch. Yep. There's like a weird liquid torrent thing that connects them.
Tell me about this.
And like the way that it doesn't have like a stick shift or anything like that. The way you reverse is they put electric motors on each wheel, so that way you could actually reverse, because there's no way to put that in the gear for reverse because there's just no gear. Yeah. It's just press the gas and go forward.
Press gas, go.
Very fastly. Yes. Anyway, it was just a long, desolate, straight, flat road.
Ooh, I love
and I saw it. Just look at it. I was like, that is 200 miles of road. Yeah. If I'm Satan, if you're real.
If you let there be a Koenigsegg on the side of the road, with the keys
just say free for Robert. I'm like, I will risk the ticket. I feel like if I got pulled over at 350 miles an hour and it's like, hey, dude, I'm just an American boy. Yeah, this car.
Yeah, I mean,
can you blame me?
Exactly.
I mean, if I got to go to jail, I got to go to jail, but it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It won't happen again, sir.
Even the cop would be like, even if he's taking it, he's like, I know, I get it.
Here are the keys. I'm done. I did what I needed to do. Is this enough of a bribe? Yeah. This is like a $3.5 million car. Okay, so have fun.
I mean, what you gonna do though, Robert?
Maybe slightly tainted
in that scenario. If you drove that car,
he wouldn't catch me.
Tops. That's what I was about to say. He wouldn't catch you is the first thing. But if you did get pulled over, I mean, at that speed, you are going to be at least easily. I mean, just in a couple of minutes, you're going to be.
Well, so 60 miles an hour, that's a mile a minute.
Yeah.
So we're talking 10 times that? No, 5 times that.
5 times that.
So 5 miles a minute.
So unless he pulls you over immediately.
And his cop car maybe goes 150.
Well, my thought is this.
If he really pushes it.
You're in the middle of nowhere, desertous or hottest. If this cop takes the deal, he's not giving the keys to his patrol car. So how you getting back to you? Because you're at least 20 miles away from your car. I've
finished life. Satan owns my soul.
True.
I'm just walking into the desert. Okay? It's a poignant end to a wonderful story.
Just give the keys to the cop and just turn and walk off. He's just
into the desert, yeah.
It's like,
you want some water? Nah, don't need it.
Not gonna need it.
I got a pack of cigarettes. That's all I need. Just keep the drones away.
That was the last time.
Anyway, I was driving pretty fast.
Yeah.
Just flat road, nobody there. I passed a cop, and then I was like, okay, well now I can really speed. Yeah. Got up to 120.
Nice.
Anyway, it's kind of the mountains. And the sun sets quick in the mountains. It's like 7 p.m. when I start on this road. I mean, it's a long stretch of highway.
Nice.
Very quickly, it becomes nighttime. I slow down. I'm driving 70.
Yeah.
75 and like a 60. I came about 1/4 of an inch from hitting a deer.
Oof.
That was standing in the middle of the fucking highway. Was one time I was driving through Oregon where a deer jumped across a 2-lane road.
Yep.
That freaked me out a lot.
Yep.
And I was driving like 50 in that. I was going 70, 75. I didn't know what to do because, I mean, it was pitch black. We had, had my lights on and stuff. And even with my brights on, I mean, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there were other people coming the other direction. I didn't know what to do, man. I was blinking my lights. Yeah. Like, I was slowing down, trying to wave at them, but they were driving, 70 the other directions. I'm like, did one of them hit the fucking deer, man?
Yeah.
Because it was mostly in the other lane. I don't know. And it was like the first car was like an F-150. By the way, I drive a Honda CRZ. People can look that up. Yeah. If I had hit a deer, like even like a mid-sized deer at like 70 miles an hour, car dead. Yeah. The car is dead. I'm dead.
There's a good chance you're dead.
It's over for Robert. Like, if you're in like an F-350, you probably tank that. You and an 18-wheeler, you're gonna just shake that off. You'll notice.
You'll know.
But no, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I'm screwed. So I slowed down a bit. I was driving 10 under. And then I had to turn onto it, and it's dark, and I'm like, okay, I am done. This is the only time where I've paid attention to the mile markers, where I was like, okay, I need to know what the mile marker is, because if I hit this thing and somehow, if I hit another animal and somehow survive, I got to be able to tell the emergency services where I'm at, and whatnot. About 5 minutes later, almost hit another deer. Had to swerve into the other lane.
Frickin' A.
To do it. I turned onto another highway. I can't remember the number here real quick. Here, cover for me for a minute while I look this up.
All right. Well, real quick, I'm going to segue back to my trip because I forgot to bring up. Went to Buc-ee's. Never been to Buc-ee's before.
Buc-ee's.
Went to Buc-ee's. Like you were saying, pictures of the Grand Canyon don't do it justice. Pictures of a Buc-ee's don't do it justice.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was looking at some pictures.
It's the Walmart of the highway, man.
I was looking at some picture like, oh, this just was like a kind of big gas station. No, we walk in. There was literally a barbecue pit in there, dude grilling up stuff. They had a sandwich up. They had a fudge station where people were making fudge. And I'm like, what is this? Why does this exist? There was apparel you could get. They were selling freaking smokers out front. You get yourself a smoker. I'm just like, what is this place? Why does this exist?
It's a village unto itself.
It is.
There are other ones too, not just Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah, but no, I was like, this is insane. But then also the other part is,
you should look up their things. Like they work their employees to the bone, but they have like insanely good like pay.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. That Buc-ee's pays really well. The thing that also, so Buc-ee's is a gas station, and so we were getting gas for our heading back to the airport, and that was the other thing that was nice is I paid $2.93 for gas.
Oh yeah, gas is very cheap once you get outside the major area.
I was just like, I haven't paid less than $4 unless I use my Safeway discount when I get it. But even then, it's like $3.90 something. I was like, I haven't paid less in so long, and they're down here just $2.90. I would kill for some $2.93 gas. Anyways, Robert,
there's places where I drive sometimes. It can go swing the opposite direction though. Sometimes there's some places I've been out in the middle of nowhere where it's like gas $8 a gallon when it's normally like $3 or $4 other places, because like it's like the only way is getting out here, and there's no other options for you. So
last year on my trip down to Oregon, we were in the middle of nowhere. The gas station there was selling gas for $7.50 a gallon. Yeah. I didn't need gas because I have a hybrid Prius that got me there and out. Got gas at a normal gas station.
Anyway, I turned on the Highway 50.
Right.
This was a mistake.
Okay.
I should have just pulled over and just died or something. Highway 50. I thought I'd been moved past the mountain, because there's like a mountain on my right and a mountain on my left.
Right.
No, Highway 50 it's just like, no, you can't get away with it. We're going to put you through the very last leg of this mountain. Climb up. Almost hit another deer. I'm driving 20 under at this
were
point.
Out for you,
they
Robert.
were out there. Oh, rabbits too. Rabbits crazy, but I'll hit a rabbit. My car can take a rabbit.
Yeah, a rabbit,
I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I'd
no
be
one's
upset.
happy about it, but it's fine. You're not. You're not.
It's him or me.
Dead, or stranded because your car's totaled.
So I make the summit. I tell you now, Highway 50. This would be real fun during the day.
Yeah.
Not at nighttime. Not in the pitch dark.
Yeah.
And there's no street lights.
Oh no, there's nothing else.
Street lights are long in the past for me at this point.
Yeah.
It is just my headlights and a prayer. Yeah, I start coming down. Like the yellow signs that are like, you could take this turn at like 60.
Yeah.
You could take it at 45.
Yeah.
3. I mean, switchback. There are trucks going like semis going up, going like 40 or 50 up this thing.
They're always
next to me. I'm driving like 2 miles an hour down this for like 2 hours. It starts to rain. It gets foggy. There's more deer. Just insane. So there's a place called Austin, Nevada. It looks like a wonderful town.
Yeah.
But screw you. For being there, meaning there had to be a road for us to get there, and that I had to take it at nighttime. There's another road after that I had to get on. This is really real. I was still counting the signs.
Yep.
You were there with me, Donnell.
What do you mean?
In my head, I was having conversations with you about the music, about the signs, about the situation.
I'm about to say.
I was like, I needed moral support.
Okay.
And I pretended you were on the road trip with me.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was like if you're going to die, the last thing you're going to do is talk to me sort of scenario. I was like,
no.
Have I reached that level in Robert's life now?
No, I'll find God. For real. Let's see here. I got on the 305, which is a real long stretch of highway. Very flat. I wouldn't know because I've never done it during the daytime. I would love to because, it is the straightest piece of road, flattest piece of road I've ever experienced. But it had been raining. And these are not like well-maintained city streets. So like every puddle that I hit was like the car like wanted to jerk off the road.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. It's been like 3 or 4 hours now. I gotta use the bathroom. I haven't had a cigarette forever. I've almost hit 4 deer. I've just driven through this mountain. Finally find a place to like pull off to the side. I forget living in Seattle how dark it can get.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, there were clouds, so I couldn't see the stars because that's always marvelous whenever you get to the middle of nowhere and you live in a city most of the time and you don't see the stars.
Yeah.
Like the real stars.
Yeah.
And then you look up and see them. I saw an amazing drive I did once through the mountains of Montana and stopped at a rest stop at the top of it and it was pitch black and looked up and I was like, I forgot there were stars. Like this is the Milky Way. I can see it. No wonder people made up deities, kind of thing. I pull over, get out. Of course, I turned off the car and the lights and everything, and I'm like, ooh, this is dark.
Yeah, no, this is real darkness.
Get back in the car, turn on the car just enough to get the lights going, put on my blinkers so that way other people know. Start using the bat, taking a pee, whatnot. And I start hearing rustling in the bushes. I've only smoked a cigarette in my car twice in my life. First time. I'm a smoker, obviously. I think people know that about me.
I'm pretty sure.
But I don't smoke in my car. Yeah. I don't think it's safe. It's not fun for me. Yeah. It's like you have the window open. It gets stuff everywhere. It's not a good, smoking's a bad habit to begin with. Doing it in the car is just one step worse.
Just compounding that.
I was stuck for a long time in LA traffic once. Rolled down the window and smoked a cigarette. I was like, this is just what's got to happen right now. But I'm like, I'm not hanging out in Cougarville or Coyoteville or whatever monstrous beast is in the mountains of northern Nevada that I'm driving through. Yeah, I got the window open, rolled down just enough. I'm super scared. It was horrific. But I survived. Yes. I made it. I should do a TikTok. It's like, I was in the mountains and I had to smoke a cigarette and it was dark and there was rustling in the bushes. Please subscribe and like. He might have been a Democrat. Oh my God, that's totally what they would do. Anyway, I drove all the way through, and I got to a place called Battle Mountain, which is another lovely middle of nowhere town, and got a room for the night, with a air conditioner that turned on like a V8 NASCAR. So every hour I got woken up. So I got about 3 hours of sleep.
Nice.
After driving for like 14 hours.
Yeah.
And then got back on the road and drove back to Seattle. It was like a 15-hour drive back to Seattle from there. It was rough.
Yeah.
As whatnot. But I drove through Yakima.
Yakima.
That's another beautiful vista. When you come up over that kind of mountain pass or whatever, and you can see the entire like central Washington Valley before you. Absolutely amazing.
Yep.
And then I saw something kind of futuristic. I've driven through Eastern Washington a few times, and I'm always used to seeing some wind turbines.
Yeah.
They have really pumped it up. 10,000 of them.
Freaking A.
They have in Central Washington and the South Central Washington. Much different place than South Central LA for sure. But that's amazing. I got some beautiful pictures of that too.
Yeah.
It is insane how many wind turbines that they have out there. And I mean, it's a good place for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't understand people that are like, they're ugly. I'm like, no, this is some futuristic, awesome looking sci-fi shit right here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, until you see it, and I do suggest, it almost was more exciting to me than the Grand Canyon to see just miles, like 100 miles of wind turbines.
Yeah.
Was just like, wow, this is something else. Like, this is what mankind can do to create such monstrosities that provide us this energy that we have. But yeah, I made it back to Seattle, made it about 8:30, tried to have a drink, tried to eat some pizza, and was just like, I gotta go to bed. And
yeah.
I'm still recovering. It was a lot of driving.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of driving.
Was a trip right there.
Yeah, Grand Canyon, it is amazing. Not worth a dedicated trip, I don't think. You really gotta tack it on to something else. If you're going to Vegas or Phoenix or something for some reason, and you got like an extra like 4 hours, 5 hours, just pop over to the Grand Canyon, check it out. Unless you're really into 120-degree hiking and camping.
Pick to go like late fall.
There are other times you could pick to go, but yeah. Anyway, that was a lot. There you go. Yeah. Travel stories from Donnell and Robert.
Little traveling Talkin It for you there. No news. Don't have time for the news. Plus, we were traveling. Don't have time to figure out what to talk about. Robert?
As always, you can find us on our website, watchingitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchingitpodcast@gmail.com. Donnell, what else should they do?
Well, by the time this comes out, you really should have already seen Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So go back and listen to us talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, because that will be out before this. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm just betting it's going to be a pretty good time. And me and Rob are going to have some stuff to say. So, yeah, check that out. Give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars, and thanks so much for listening. Bye.